shadows on the screen, where the numbers call my name. Promises of freedom, but they bind me just the same. Volatility's a whisper, pulling dreams into the void, chasing endless games. My heart's a coin destroyed. In neon glow, they lure with hollow shine. Check the codes on truth before you cross that line. Markets rise and crash like waves upon my mind. Stay calm in the storm, or you leave your peace behind. Oh, chasing gains in the blockchain's glow, riches turn to dust where the starlight flows. Set your goals, don't break. Find a balanced way, chasing gains. Don't lose your soul today. Crypto dreams, they pull me through the night. Wealth's a fleeting ghost, it fades in morning's light. Hold your life in view, don't let the markets reign. Chasing endless gains, break free from their domain.
What a lovely little song we got right here. The only thing that might be missing from this little tune that might just make it a little bit of a more of an improvement would be just a little bit more cowbell, wouldn't you say? See, that makes it better right there. You know, it's also got a little bit more like traditional cowbell, more like this way. So it just makes all the difference in the world, I'm just saying. Every reputation knows that. Just thought I'd share it with you. Thank you so much. For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, hey! Hey, welcome to Late Night. Dang, Sean, you early with that button for it. Wow. Hey, welcome everybody to Late Night Crypto with Road Dogg. Hey. That's awkward. That's just awkward all the way around. Anyway, this is working, right? So we're taking a look at Bitcoin here at 170,800. Earlier in the little video that I did put out, first for the Telegram group, if you're not familiar with it, over here, over into the chart room under the trade setups area, which I guess this is where we are right now. Put a little video out this morning, just going over what we saw in price. You can see where it was down there at the point in time. It was down in these areas. And what I was trying to say, because a lot of fear was in the market, and there's a lot of calls for us to, you know, my feeling is you get a lot of fear when price starts coming in here. Last thing you need is for everybody to jump in on the bandwagon and just say, oh man, it's probably going to keep on going. It's yeah, that's it. And, you know, so I just felt like I had to show what I saw here that gave us a possible signs to look for that we might be bouncing. And we were in this area at the time, and sure enough, as soon as I release it, it starts dropping back down here. I'm like, well, that ain't swell. But I mentioned in the video, we don't want to break this area here. We don't want it to break here, and definitely don't want it to break this one. And then we might be looking, yeah, they might be winning. They go to the downside. But as luck would have it, we did a nice little retracement here, about the 786 fib level for you little fib junkies. I know you're fib junkies. That's where I'm a fib junkie. I ain't ashamed of it. We'll be breaking out our fibs all through the night here. You need some fib. You need me to hook you up? Doctor's here, baby. Dr. Fib Good. Ha ha! Anyway, we're bouncing here, double bottom, and now we're trying to knock out this little high here. We just haven't done it. So we're just in a range. But this is the week where we would expect a lot of topsy-turvy stuff here to be going on. Because we got all the Fed stuff, FOMC, I think, coming out tomorrow, whatever, blah, 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 blah. This thing's acting janky again tonight. Have I got too many windows open or something? We got to close some windows over here? What's going on? What's that do? No, that's you. Okay. I don't know what all these little windows are. I've got a couple of chats. Let me drag the chat out and say hello to everybody. In the meantime, while I'm doing that, or as I'm doing that, working my way down through the chat, I want to pop up my little request button. If you got an altcoin you want to take a look at, just throw it right on there. We'll see if we can get to that after we get through with our Bitcoin and just overall market overlook, so we know what our altcoins are going to do, so they won't surprise us. That's how I like to try to do it, and sometimes they still full of surprises, but we catch for the biggest part of them, I do believe here. Look at you, Bitcoin. Some would argue that you're trying to make a bottom pattern right here. We're on the small time frame for Bitcoin, by the way. That's 6 minutes. Can anybody guess what that pattern might be for you pattern people out there? There's a couple. Actually, there's technically there's about 3 different ways to look at that. What do you think? Actually, I see about 4 different ways to look for that, and they all spell out the same thing in the end. Let's go over to the chat and say, Haslo. That didn't work out. Hello, there we got chat. You're hanging out up here. 15 people hanging out with me. Say hello to everybody. We got Soul in the house. Hey, Soul, how's it going? Good to see you here. Do you already see? I see a Striga. Striga, thank you. Oh, there's the taco. There's the taco. Tacos locos. Hey, Striga. The tacos. I always get hungry from tacos. Whenever I see Striga up here. Bullish on Parade, how's it going? Good to see you guys, man. Sicario! Looks like the animal likes goth ladies too. I know. Something about those goth girls just kind of... They look like fun. All over. I can't help it. Ah! We got Soul! What's going on, Soul? Striga! We're doing... Ah! Microphone zone and everything, right? Okay, I gotta check everything. We're good. Looks good. Striga says, I come in and Road Dogg's just wailing on the cowbell. Was that me? Beta bot, how's it going? We got a bot? Oh, nice. Uh-oh. I lost the bot comment. Hey, Beta bot, how's it going? I bet I will miss this live stream once I arrive to work. Well, my boss is Anita Cho. Hey, I used her phone to watch your channel. Okay. That's about as awkward as my introduction right there, but I'll roll with it. Sounds cool. Zombie, zombie, zombie. Yay. All right, so there is my little request there for any coins, and let me take note of what you guys got. I got a few to look at here. Nothing special, just some that have kind of been moving today. Tracking some that haven't moved in a while started moving today, and they moved quite a bit. Are they up to something? Have they bottomed out and they're trying to do something? I want to take a look at some of those little guys. BetaBot says, you start so early that I now catch the ending screen once I got to work. Oh, I've been trying out 10 o'clock. I gotta tell you though, I think 10:30 I just kind of naturally floated that. It's like I have to kind of step up my game and still run a little bit behind trying to get everything ready by 10. And 9 o'clock just makes me So I don't know, we might be floating back toward 10:30. I don't know. BetaBot says Milady token. I haven't looked at that one in a while. Do you already see as for Pongo? It's an XRP coin. Scario says I was singing that song for so. I gotta go to work now. I'll rewatch later. Hey, I'll see you on the rewind. Gotcha. Good night, BetaBot. Thanks for hanging out. BetaBot. Why not? You just got the clap. All right, let's take a look, if you don't mind, at the indices over here. The only thing I'm concerned about is it looks like Total 3 is broken trend, and that's probably why my thumbnail seems a little bit of a negative, like we're getting a pullback and correction for Total 3 for altcoins. And basically, yeah, I mean, we were doing really good. And this is the 6 minute. This is yeah, we were doing really good on the 6 minute. We were doing really good, and then we lost it over here. This little area here, we lost that. That sucks. If I wanted to tighten it up for the candle bodies, that would look like a perfect breakdown and bearish retest. That idea, which I do kind of like, gives us just a local measure move to look for. Right down here to test these bottoms where we've at before, but you know, either way, that's kind of looking a little too microscopic when I'm doing that. That's why we need to zoom the hell out and get a look at the bigger picture on this, because that's where it really matters. So here on the daily, Total 3, we lost the 9 moving average, so we lost that for a while. We're below the 5. We're coming down, baby. It's coming down. It wants to talk to this 21 down here. Below 1 trillion. We're at 1.01 trillion. So chances are your favorite altcoins are taking a little bit on the decline. Also, if I'm going to go to the 4 hour, I just flipped a lot. I flip-flopped. We're on the 4 hour chart now, Total 3. Indice for altcoins, basically. And we got a lower high. That puts us in danger of a lower low. We've got one target down here, about 944. In my personal opinion, I mean, we came up to these areas that are reversal areas, right? And did a double top there. Okay, this is what we look for a possible reversal going on, or a bigger correction that could be going on. We also have this big ass trend line down here, down by the 200 moving average here on the 4 hour, where, you know, several billions of dollars would be slowly trickling out of these altcoins, possibly as we come down there. There's a few little places we might catch a hiccup, and oh look, Hail Mary's full of, get a Hail Mary play here and bounce. But in most parts, when you see this, that could be a steeper correction. Elliot, you got something different going on. Now, just to be fair, Elliot wave theory on the indicator anyway over here thinks that this is a 4 wave and the turkey is just full of turkey crap, that this is you ready to move on up there. I hope so. I hope so. But my concern is that we lost this, or we lost this 100 moving average here on the 4 hour. And not just because we lost it, but because there's some other moving averages coming in right behind it, trying to bearishly cross it. So once price crosses the moving average, and then we see other moving averages inside the group start running over it too, well, everybody starts picking on that one, starts running over it until it finally has to stand its ground one day. You know how it is. You remember what it was like in kindergarten, grade school? I don't know. I'm just... Sometimes you gotta stand up and say, no, that's my Barbie doll. Anyway. So you got some hopeful arguments that we're not trying to do some kind of M-top, which is kind of common for us to do at these areas where, you know, we do have reversal fibs. Just, you know, I'm just stating that that's what a lot of traders look for. Look, it's making a topping pattern at our resistance areas. This would probably be a great place to sell, or maybe even possibly short things down. That's kind of what, you know, that's what's trickling in from the ether, or basically that's just what the chart information says here. So if we do break below this little area right here, about $980 million, you know, coming full on from that little measure move we took. But if we do that, then this M pattern is therefore confirmed, and then you got a bigger ass problem to be worrying about. You're like, you have like this possibility of having a measure move that takes our happy little or unhappy little camper asses back down to retest the breakout of this trend line, which that was also in the cards anyway. It would suck more because it would break this trend line to come down there at that price point, and at that point I think a lot of people be looking at altcoins and saying, I just give the freak up, I don't understand. Or watch their portfolios tank a nice, what percentage might that be? Oh, it's not too bad, another 15. In altcoin language, some of your coins be tanking somewhere between 10 and maybe some of them up to 30% drops between now and then. It's just a possibility that I see, and the biggest reason is because we lost this secondary trend line. There is some levels of hope, but man, I'm finding myself, I'm in a situation, I'm like, well, should I just, you know, go ahead and take a little bit more of my profits here so that I won't be bitching about, hey, I should have taken more profits. That's usually what happens. So this has been one of the times when we just broke this trend line, and I know we come down a little bit, but that's a lot better than it being down here. When I say, man, do I have to take profits? Am I forced to do it now to save my ass a little bit? Do I have to now? Am I forced to now? I don't have to go through that if I'm trying to plan a little bit early. So as we might get a little bit of a bullish retest here, I like those for de-risking if that happens. If we kind of do that, roll over like that, then coolio. That gives me a chance to de-risk a little bit on the way up, take profits on the way up, take them just a little bit more heavier. That would be my ideal situation. But you know what I want the market to do, and then what the market does, they're often two different things I've found, and it's kind of crazy. And I'm like, either everybody else agrees with me and we're all wrong, or, well, I don't know. It just leads to a lot of questions in my head that just make my head explode if I think about it too hard. So I try not to do that. Right now, I'm seeing you what are you trying to do here? You getting frisky on these little smaller time frames this 1 hour. You're not wanting to drop. You're trying to go back up there a little bit. And I respect that. I just don't think that you're going to be able to do much with that. I just don't think you do. So it's me against Elliot. I don't know whose side you're on. I'm not going to hold it against you, but Elliot seems to think this is just a fake out high or low. We're going to the upside, baby, going to the moon. I'm just going to pull my little fibs here and say, Elliot, you got a good argument. I see that. We're at a 618. But still, it does not explain what was going on in here with this secondary, this other little half-ass trend line we got, and why we had to step that one down. I'm just saying. Have you been drinking, Elliot? Sometimes Elliot drinks on the job. I've noticed that. Don't tell his mom. Meanwhile, over here, Bitcoin dominance, and that's the culprit that's really kind of blowing this, making altcoin, trading altcoins not very much fun. She made a higher low herself. Now, if this one starts progressing up, why it looks like it's been successfully trying to do, you know, altcoins are going to give back some of those juicy little gains, and I just rather not see it happen. And I think we've mentioned this. I'd expect it to come up to some of these higher areas, maybe even up as high as here, before we get any kind of hope that it might be trying to work for a lower low and give us a really nice run on altcoins here. So we might be giving back a lot more than what we're able to take from this market over these next few days, especially as this market's going to be trading, probably trade sideways with all the little funky news that we got coming out. Almost every day there's something Fed-wise related out there. So expect a little crazy week. There's a lot of crazy stuff going. But Bitcoin dominance does not look bearish to me. I mean, I know she's coming down, but she looked like she could recover from here, and that sucks for altcoins. So, ladies and gentlemen, now that I made my little spiel here about that we're kind of in the danger zone, looking at Bitcoin over here. There are two ways to look at Bitcoin. I think I mentioned that in the video earlier today, and I try to mention on every stream. But we got a couple of ways to look at this one. This is the bearish scenario here, where we break, you know, we did not respect this particular trend line and bearishly retested it. Now, are there some counter arguments to it? The biggest reason why I like this particular trend line is because it's showing a lot of respect for these candle bodies there. Now, maybe somebody can argue, but you didn't take it from the candle body. Well, let's see what that affects. Maybe it will change my mind on some things. Nope, we're still under it. It doesn't line up as beautiful as my first line, but hey, it's still the same thing. We got a bearish retest idea. I'm just going to put it back the way it was. If you break it, you buy it. And so the idea here was, yeah, if we can get back above it and get above the certain areas, man, it's looking good, but that's not what happened. So what the hell, where'd you come from? So that's the bearish situation to be setting us up for a lower low where we might be coming to 113. That's still on the table, people. It's still on the table. I hope it doesn't happen. The bullish scenario is that this 236 fib area that we've been holding for a long time, and we had another one down here in these areas that we held for a long time, and look how that treated us. A little rough there, but eventually we got the little break to the upside from it after it got tired from hanging out there for about dang near felt like a month or two. But here we are, we're trying to do that same thing on a smaller scale, and this could be a nice little, this could be a flag, people, like a big flag on the bigger time frames, like for real, we're bouncing off of these areas. So these are the signs I watch for flags. I just don't throw them out willy-nilly or be like, look, we're in a flag right here. So this is the bullish situation. The bullish outlook here is that we're above our 236. We're found support there, and we have. It's done really good. We haven't lost that. You know, we went below it, but we're holding it about 117,300 so far. Right now, we're trading at 118,000. Pretty gosh darn good. It's a good place to bounce and try to work on a higher high. That's what we need to be doing. So two scenarios to look at it. Either way, what would invalidate this is to actually close a candle down here below, or especially below that red line at 236 pip area here. 117. I start closing candles there and opening a candle, not just wicks. That would be a good sign that this is probably being invalidated. And then our other one, which is bearish anyway, we just I mean, she need to bounce here and go for a higher high and invalidate this. This one seems to have a lot of weight in my personal opinion. I'm just saying. Let's take a look at some altcoins. I'm going to throw up one I haven't looked at in a while. It's called Omni. I don't know anything. I'm not even in it. I just saw that she's doing some stuff, and people are probably going to be chasing this one. So we've looked at it before, back in the day. Well, that did not work out very well. I would be looking for a double bottom scenario, come back, and hopefully that she would try to do something else, and she did not. And I don't think we looked at it since then. It was around $9. Breaking that trend line would have been the line in the sand moment. Well, Omni, we had lots of hope for you several times, looks like, and you've been a big disappointment. Are you about to turn that around? She got a nice little pump. I don't know anything about this, and I don't know anything about the tokenomics on it. But I'd say it was a good chance to maybe retest 441. Hopefully that will hold and it won't come back down to this 250 area, because that would suck to get back down there. Don't need that. So that's one that's popping up, and nothing that I see nothing special about this one. I mean, if you're sold on it, it's not a bad place, but you know, more than likely it will accumulate here over the next couple of weeks with some ups and downs. But she popping up all right today. What's this other one? Tiva or Tavaria. We're on the 6 hour. Nothing special going on over here. I think they're just popping up on my radar because they had a nice day today, and but looking at their past, I'm like, well, at least you had a good day. That's good. 30% gains. Okay, but we're in this big ass range. All right. ZBCN. Zebic. Is that it? I think MEXC. Who had a good chart? MEXC should have a good chart, but that's perpetual futures. Okay, we looked at it. So it's still finding some resistance on the bigger time frames here beneath that 618. It looks like it wants to try to get past it. I hope it does. It's got a nice little parabola. It's got a nice little curved line going on there. So, trying to get into this one at this point is risky AF, and you got to understand that, because this is a place where they like to do some steeper pullbacks. And you got to be ready for the notion that we might come back all the way down to 0.004, or maybe a little bit more realistically, considering the strength of it, maybe somewhere about 0.004 and a half, 0.0046, right through there. That's it could be strong, and just to keep on it going, we would look for 0.006 as our target, and from here to there could be about our 26% gains. Now think about it, when it was down here leaving the 236 area and it went up, you got 30% gains on that little run, and that was a much safer entry down here. So if you saw other assets currently down here haven't made it up here yet, it's a little wiser, in my personal opinion, to focus on those, because these guys have already started playing out. They're almost due. At any point here could be a correction. So you get in, you either get stopped out, or you go and draw down, or left holding the bag for a while. So a little risky right here at this area, in my personal opinion, for ZBC. Take a look at my lady requested here. KuCoin's gotcha. Zoom out and take a look at the daily. You were probably, and I haven't thought about this one, and this one had a good community, had a good following, had a good rally. It has not yet popped off, and I would dare say that it probably will, then that we could probably expect to see something at least like what we saw over here. That went to, oh man, there's so many zeros in this coin, that's crazy. I'm just going to go by the last number, 1716, and we're at 369 right now, so this is where it would have been over there. That would be like a 400x, or 400% gain, 3 or 4x. So for someone wanting to play this, comfortable playing a meme coin play, putting a few $100s or however much you want to put in at these little bottom areas, looks kind of enticing. I'm going to pull my little fib targets out on it and get my basic framework set up here. Boom. There we go. That's the main one I want to, first major target that I want to see right there. Pull our new fibs out here. Come here, Fibby. And Notice how that lines up very nicely with the 786 fib area. Got an overlaying of Fibonacci areas, so we will put you onto the radar at 1251. Hope to see you there soon, darling. The 666 moving average is coming here at the 0.5. That's Miss Lucy. Yeah, no price is going to talk to the devil. If it's going to make a higher high, I'm looking for that one to be there, because ain't nothing the devil likes somebody to do is that once they get high, they come down, try to get them higher high. Lucy be like that. Little devil girl, you don't know who I'm talking about? We're talking about that girl. I just noticed. We still had the disco ball up. So looking at this here, this is on the daily. This is my lady meme coin. I think this is a perfect area to be trying to accumulate. And we do our new fibs from this one all the way down, and we can gauge that. And yeah, you're in a nice little 236 Fibonacci area, honey. We're hoping that this is your bottom. It looks like it is for a higher low. I would be willing to chance it enough. So now I got a bunch of red lines over here. And so we got this butt cheek, or is it a butt cheek or is it a boobie? Sometimes it's hard to tell whether it's hanging out the school bus window. No, that's horrible. You can't. No, that was only cool when you're in high school. This right formation here needs to come up and get past the cleavage or butt crack area here at 720, and yeah, knew that was coming. The main target I'm looking for is a higher high at 893. Can you do it for me, Candy? What kind of gains would that be just to get up there to make a higher high at a fib level at 0.5? That 143%. If I put $100 in my lady right now, I could have maybe $243 by Christmas, or whenever it decides to get up there. We would hope that this would do a lot better by Christmas, right? What am I listening to? Who's crucifying a cat? Okay. Okay. Well, that was awkward. Hey, I see some bullish crossings over here trying to happen. It's over that 100 trying to cross over that 200. That's kind of bullish to me. She's leveling out here. It's a good place to accumulate, my ladies. My personal opinion. You give me a little idea of something I might look into my little off period here. My ladies, I got a little Solana Degen wallet, and I like to look for little guys like that. Boom, put you on my little list. All right, let's take a look at Pongo, XRP coin. Pongo. It is also trading on Mexi. And then there's the Chinese knockoff Pingo for Pongo, which is over on COINEX. So we got Pongo, and then we got a possible knockoff, just depending on how good your bifocals are. Focused in there. Pongo, be careful. It's on Mexi though. Let's take a look. Well, like a lot of things, she came down and did a hockey stick. We got the ever popular altcoin hockey stick right here. Well, now these hockey sticks, they can either turn into a elf toe, which kind of looks like this, and not the curly up kind. It can't do that, and we don't get that. So that would suck. Or, well, it doesn't do the curly time, but they can come right back up to these areas. Doesn't mean they will. This is definitely at a low spot. All those zeros, so many zeros, I can't even fathom. I can't even fathom. I can't fathom how many fractions of a penny. I mean, I have trouble enough just figuring it out in Satoshis for Bitcoin. I'm like, but all that is still like 3 cents, right? But this, I'm like, all this is like, what? What if I give you a nickel? Can I get 1,000,000 coins? Is that how it works, Pongo? I mean, what's going on here? How many coins can I get for a nickel here? It looks like a lot. I'm just saying. So this one's got a lot of coins at a dirt cheap price. And Hey, a lottery ticket play, I guess, depending on what it is. I don't know. I would look at the same thing. You're at a bottom range and have been here for a couple of months, not breaking out. We pull our Fibonacci and we can kind of get more sense out of it. This is our 236. We've been in that. It was a nice little accumulation zone. So the bigger players, or the whales of this coin, this is how you get to be a whale. You collect a lot when it's down here cheap and nobody likes it. Nobody talks about it. And the people that do look at it down at the bottom like, oh, I wouldn't touch that with even your money. Oh, that looks like trash. I mean, that's I think it's by design, really, because you want to slowly accumulate. Put out bad news on it. They do all kinds of little tricks, or just not talk about it at all. But you see all kinds of things that happen down through here, right? News articles talking about how horrible something is, and they're just like, but I'm still buying, just on the down low. Building bags through here, rotating up, because you got a nice little spread when you play the bottoms, right? They don't just come in, well, we happen to be at the bottom, snatch me up something. No, they're playing this whole little range very carefully. And that's why I think if you want to be like them and they got all the big money, we better learn how to do what they do, or apply it somehow. And so that's 240, almost 250% gains here. $100 here could turn into close to 350 up here. Now, I didn't even take the full measure, but nobody would get the full move anyway. But a 300% move here. So do you think that over the period between April and good news, bad news, that it would be possible to play this little middle zone here and take advantage of a few of those moves there? That, you know, there were nice little 100% moves there. Doubling up, play it down, or if you just play it in one direction only, just playing it up, sell it, wait till you get back down here and somewhere juicy, buy again. So that's what the bigger players do to slowly accumulate, and that's what I try to do in my little way, and it slowly works. It does, and it sucks. But when it comes up to here, to these areas, and finally breaks out of this 236 zone, that's when all that money you accumulated there starts coming up. Oh snap, you mean we did a 5x on this big bag that was 100 coins, then it turned it into 500 coins, and we turned it into the 1250, then we turned it into 3200 coins over here with these moves. I mean, I'm just trying to give you an example. Your mileage may vary, but that's the kind of the idea. Take a small amount and build it through here, and then, oh man, I've got 3,000 coins. So maybe we start with 500 to get to 3,000. I don't know, trying to make it a little more realistic. But you can X the amount of tokens through these sideways bottoms, and then you got more tokens to sell as the price starts coming out. You got the opportunity just to pyramid out of this little sucker, however you want to do. You moonbag it at one point where you got no more collateral in it. Then you got a free little bag and a little bag of cash. Hopefully, we say it in theory, unless you're like me and you just initially kind of find something to roll it over into. Seems like it's hard for me to have a bag of cash lately. That's a habit I've got to work on. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it all out there, the nasty and the ugly, but that is a problem. That's why margin gets you kind of spoiled that way. You're like, well, but then you're like, well, when am I ever going to quit borrowing money from you? Oh, let's get that little sucker paid off. So we got we just erased everything right there. Do we have targets for this? Were we looking at this Pongo? So I think a nice little play is to pull a fib from out here, and I would personally, man, I talked about this last night. You can set little limit orders on your exchange. Hopefully you got it on the exchange. And then as price slowly makes it up there, boom, 129% payday. Beep, hit that limit order. Maybe it just keeps on skyrocketing. Maybe we're doing like something over there. Boom, hit the next one, 184% payday. I mean, your $25 is giving you like $50 or something over here, you know, and $75 here. That, you know, every $25 you put in over here is giving you returns of $50, $75, maybe even $100 for that same amount of coins that you sell at these higher levels. Hell yeah, let's do it. So that's how I look at these things that some people are look at. I wouldn't touch that with your penis. Just for the record, this turkey does not have a pecker. You will not find a pecker on me. I'm sorry. I'm peckerless. A peckerless turkey. Just throwing that out there. I don't know how we got on this topic, ladies and gentlemen. My bad. Excuse me. I want to take a look at Nero ETH, because that one seems to be doing something. I think it's just Nero. Taking a look at Nero, I think it's the same thing. I may be totally what you say. You're stupid, you boomer. You don't know the difference between your coins. I like this trend line that we seem to be holding here with a possible third hump. I don't know. That's kind of a little beginner hump there, a little wart on its little butt cheek there, and then it got infected and become a much bigger problem to deal with. And this just keeps coming up. Is there a trade set up? I'm going to say that it hit and we were magically just awesome. Yes. Oh, nailed it. Who took this trade with me? I don't remember making this, but hey, I'm gonna do this for the algorithm. Yes, join my group. Join my OnlyFeats group. $2,499 a month. You won't regret it. Okay, so that's getting on my nerves, man. This is 41 to 1 ratio. Okay, well that was a while. I don't know what that was. Targets hit a 618 fib. Retracement. We need you to hold right where you are, baby. I hope you do not break down and confirm any kind of M top or M pattern here, because that would imply that if that happens, we might come down and do a mirror image, something that looks a little bit like this, and that would kind of suck. Well, that would be the Dirty Sanchez. Would not like that, but that could happen, so we got to keep that on the radar. Watch it very closely here. What I got to say for it on the good side for Nero ETH is that we got some good bullish crossings over that 200 moving average, but that 200 moving average is on a downward tear, man. She's starting to round out a little bit, but she looked like she still got some momentum, man. So I would, I hope you don't break that trend line. I hope you don't. I will have to say bad words about you if you break that trend line. You need to bounce your happy little ass here and just, work, go back to school, get your education, graduate, start your little family. Stop coming down here. You're gonna get killed down here in these streets. Don't do it. You're trying to save your life for real, for real. You better listen, Nero. All right. This show's just gotten a little weird. I blame it on the music. Road Dog, what are your thoughts on this cycle being a super cycle? We get that every cycle though, and it never plays out. And I mean, for one reason or the other, we always do. I don't know. I've heard some compelling arguments to sway my thinking even a year or two ago that 2026 things might kind of extend into 2026, maybe even past the first quarter. I don't know, but we got to be cautious, especially with the altcoins, well, even with Bitcoin, of getting caught in that mentality and then losing the top and then finding itself on a good drop into the bear market, into the actual bear market, where like, oh, there's really not a comeback from this. Yay. I might go up a little, but it's down city from here. Missed it! Because that happens a lot to a lot of people, and that kind of narrative coming out fuels that to happen and gets people not to look at what the bigger time frames are thinking. One thing that I mean, and I'm bound to do it, and I've done it very poorly by my own accounts, is this MACD indicator here on the weekly, and then you got Pi Cycle indicator too. That's a good one. I haven't really followed it too much here, but we will add that. What the hell is this? Okay, yeah, like on Bitcoin or whatever, the MACD on the weekly, when you finally get that cross, when it flips bullish to bearish, has it ever been wrong? Has it ever been wrong? I'm telling you, when you should have gotten out. So you combine this idea with maybe some RSIs also on these big ass time frames, but mostly just paying attention to this one, I found can basically save your ass. So all these red lines are where it officially crossed on the weekly, and all those red lines are places that would have been a good place to freaking sell. And this was the start of the bear market last cycle when that happened. And if you just followed that one little bit of advice and sold during this candle, and you probably wouldn't have got the top, it might have been down here at 49,000. And that's what's so hard. Like, well, we were just at 69,000. I can't sell if we drop 20,000. I'm a loser selling the bottom. That's what goes through everybody's mind at that point. Well, not through everybody, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people would be went through mine. I'll just tell you. And then you drop down to 33, and you're like, why didn't I do what I was supposed to do? So you don't know that you're in a bear market until you're kind of in a bear market on the way. And by the time we got to 20, that's when some people were looking at, well, I guess we're in a bear market now. And I'm like, well, yeah, Einstein, we went from 70,000 down to 20, and now you're just now calling it, huh? We had some of that here. Some people have to wait for confirmations longer than others, and gosh darn it, they wait way too long. But every time there, MACD on the weekly crossed. It was a great one, even back last year, and that's where I did not pay attention. I regretted that. Oh man, I was like, no, okay, maybe walk, because when you show it up on the weekly, the indicator, it shows you this, but that's not what you're seeing on the smaller ones like the daily and everything. They're looking like they might be able to recover, and you're like, well, maybe they can recover, and then it'll influence this. But you got to always remember, it's the bigger time frames that they're the ones that are calling the shots. They're gonna have more weight over them smaller time frames rather than vice versa. That's just how it works. There are some people out here, some flag chasers out there telling the total opposite story. Although I think they're starting to soften that narrative a little bit, because I see them saying, I can't trade the 1 minute anymore. I'm like, really? All right, so here at Bitcoin, watching at 118,000. Amazing. Oh my God, he went up during our show. That must mean we're a special show. Amazing. I did that for the algorithm, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm just being playful. Some of the things I hear here on YouTube make me laugh sometimes. But we are starting to come up. It's not because I'm here. It's just because 236 Fibonacci. Yeah! Which you learned about here. Yeah. I'll take credit for that. All we making? Well, I asked a question earlier when we first came. What shape have we got going on here? And I don't think anybody answered it. Y'all are like, I don't give a crap, Road Dog, what shape it is. Just, I don't think anybody did. Nobody did. Y'all don't care. Y'all don't care. How you guys doing? Let me come back to the chat over here. We got Soul with retracted messages. I always miss them. Dog, thanks for your note. Well, thank you for hanging out. So hopefully I bring something of value. I mean, my whole reason for doing these streams is just for, you know, whoever wants to watch, that they can, whatever I do, I try to voice it in a way where I hope that you can learn by watching, just hanging out and even watching here without having to go for a paid group or anything. Ask questions from time to time. And of course there is the $3 chart school, $3 a month YouTube membership, which has chart school videos recorded, and then some from 1 hour live streams over there with you guys, where I break down how I do and why I do what I do, and how I pull a fib, and that certain things I look for. So I put it out there as best I can, and the only other thing is me to add stuff that I probably don't use all the time, and I could do that. We could go over all kinds of different little techniques and different ways to do this market, but it's not what I use all the time, so I don't. But what I do use seems to work, you know, well enough for me to navigate me through this market without very many, wow, didn't see that coming. Every once in a while, but usually you kind of see it coming and you just realize I didn't want to see it coming. I chose not to do anything about it. I don't know. It just felt too good not to take profits sometimes. I don't understand that. 22 people hanging out with me. Just you and me and nicotine gum. Woo! Just like Tucker Carlson. So here on the 6 minute chart, on this local pattern idea here, red line being a very firm area of support, which I'm big on. You got this forming here, and some people will look at it and immediately see inverted head and shoulders, and I think actually it makes a nice one. It does. It makes a nice one. So that would be valid. It's got a solid neckline. That's why I like this tool. I think this tool will help you locate these things better than what you see some other people, because some people just see, I mean, there's lots of ways that some people will look at something like this over here and look. And this is the way, when I first started learning, this is how they would draw it. Shoulder, head, and shoulder to the upside. That wasn't their voice, so it's shoulder, head, and shoulder to the upside. I don't remember how they talk. But anyway, they would be drawn like that. And then you got the old cock and balls pattern. Yeah, you guys remember the cock and balls pattern? Yeah, if you don't, I'm sure you probably walked in somewhere you've probably, just erase this stuff. You've probably seen this by the Kilroy sign somewhere. You got this one on the bathroom wall. So some people like to draw it out like that. But the thing is, and I am in dispute with who I consider my mentor is Thomas Bukowski, who I look up to for pattern training stuff. I have in dispute with him. And what I'm trying to get at is this tool make you, in order for this thing to go red or to fill the colors in here, you've got to have a solid neckline. A lot of people don't look like for that when they do these patterns. To me, that makes all the difference in the world. If it's got a solid neckline, it's likely to play out. If it doesn't, if it's all mismatched, and you might not be looking at an inverted head and shoulders or something, or a head and shoulders or whatever. Just saying. You may not get the exact results from that pattern because it's not that pattern. It's kind of a little something else or a little weak and something, just not to make it a good qualifier, you know? Maybe I'm just too picky. But anyway, it does make, in my personal opinion, I think that was what it was, a nice one there. Another idea that you look at, which would not be wrong, would be this. And this is what I teach. You connect the dots as they form, right? And you would get this widening broadening pattern, or this bullish megaphone. This little special guy has a 64% chance to break to the upside. Believe it or not! Pretty much about the same as an inverted head and shoulders. That's crazy how that works. And if you're a tip pincher, say if you find yourself getting up there and you're starting to lose control and just kind of, you pinch the tip, hold your breath, and right here, then you got that ascending, he said ass, triangle pattern right here. Now remember, these are typically seen as continuation patterns, so price coming down. You can't blame for somebody for expecting one that might be continue and throw that idea out there, okay? Because that can work that way, that idea. But this little bugger here has a 63%. It's really close to what the other ones have. So all of those ideas are technically correct, except for this one's kind of going in reverse instead of being a continuation. So really, pinching the tip is not my favorite, but I see a lot of people teaching that, a lot of people doing that with their analysis out there, being taught that. Best thing I keep saying is best thing to do is zoom out and see where your major trend lines are and what's going on. And when we do that, we're just still in this gosh darn crazy range here on Bitcoin. Below some moving averages I would rather not be beneath right now because they haven't showered in days and just a sweaty skin flapping on my forehead. Not fun. Not wanting to be here in this position right now. I'd rather be in a power of domination of strength here where it's my flappies on their forehead. Let's see if we can make that happen, Bitcoin. What the hell is this turkey talking about? 19 people, we gain some, we lose some. They come and they go. Bullet on Parade says, watching random YouTubers, it boggles my mind to see a lot of them don't pay attention to Bitcoin dominance. Not too many of them do, or if they do, it's kind of not very often. Yeah, I think it's important to keep up with every day. And that's probably one of the things I got from my mentor from years ago. One of the habits that I saw him do, that because it's a way to come out every day and check the weather. It's just like before you go on a trip, you want to see what's the weather. Is it going to storm up there? Do I need to bring an umbrella? And the Bitcoin dominance and the total threes or those indices help us to figure that out. Help me a lot, I gotta say. Someone getting high? Oh no! Will Jesus Coin never come back up? Oh my gosh, I forgot about that one. I forgot all about. How's that one doing? Andrew Tula, how's it going? Can you do tech analysis on Doge Elon Mars? I can. Let me bring it up. There's Doge Elon Mars. And then what was the other? We were Jesus Coin. I want to take a look at that. That would probably be, let's go over here. I'll pull that one up over here. Ah, great. We got variations of different ones, and I can't remember. Was it Jesus with the sunglasses, or Jesus, or was it? Oh, they got a Last Supper coin too. I'm gonna guess it's this one here. All right, we'll come back to that one. So this is Elon Mars, and I want to zoom out. Okay, we looked at it at some point. Goodness gracious. Oh man, we took a big ass reading up there. I don't think I ever did anything with that. I don't think that's accurate either. Go here. It pumped up way high. That's crazy. It might do something like that again. Imagine that. So it's kind of like what I mentioned earlier with some of those other coins. I would set some limit orders up here at some of these targets, man. Because at any point she could get a big spike up, and it might be just as big as this one, or it might not be. But imagine buying it down here where it is. First target 23.47, 90% gains. Second target 32.31, 161% gains. Third target 38.73, 213. Fourth target, oh, didn't make it. Oh, cool. We made all this money down here. That's okay. We got a lot more money just to put back into this and build this bag, or to put somewhere else, or do anything else. However far she goes up. The crazy thing is, now that's a little too much hopium, but that's true though. So that's just looking from where we were. That was a while back. I'm still in the daily, aren't I? That was January. Okay, it's been a while. A good 7 months since we've been up to these areas here. I don't know what the deal is, but in my personal opinion, you know, if you're going to take a chance on it, buying it closer to the lowest trend line you got is probably the least risky to take. That's the least risky. Because it's not as likely to come down here. It's more likely, it's got more upside than it does downside. It's the easiest way to put it when you're a bottom feeder. You got more upside than downside. So you can put in less money down here and get some good returns up there too, by the way. So I mean, what, $100 thrown in on this in the bottoms here. Gets up here to, let's just say mid range right here, 166. It turns into $266. That's not even as high as it could go when we look at where it was just, my gosh, last cycle when this one got hyped up. I don't know if we'll get up there again. Hasn't had very much going on since then. It's just been a loser since then, but they can turn around. I would expect them to get up at least half that amount, right? I think that's a reasonable target to look at for all those altcoins, is to see if they can at least get up to the 0.5, if not the 0.6. Those would be the two areas I would try to zoom in for these last season altcoins, at least for that. Don't know that they're going to get any better than that or make new all-time highs. I mean, we've not had the greatest alt run in this cycle at all compared to the past cycles, but imagine this one from down here where we are. What if you could put $100 in? Could you hold it that long? You wouldn't have to. You can moonbag it as soon as it doubles, and so that turns out, you know, you could put $100 in and let it ride and come out with $1,100, or you can moonbag it somewhere down here when it doubles and then come out with you know, $600, because you will have all that free $100 bag just to grow and whatever. It just takes a lot of patience with that strategy. I like the strategies that let me pull my collateral out and pretend nothing happened, but yet I got a free bag of coins that may or may not do any good. that just gets to be a lot to manage over time, and then you end up with lots of coins from here, there, and wherever, and it gets a little kind of unruly, but it still is my best way to try to build them, or the funnest way to build a bag is a free bag. And that can only be done when you're, you know, the easiest times to do that, to get the free bags, to get the free money, is when you're at these bottom places. So we're granted with this opportunity out of some of these altcoins still being at a bottom where they came all the way back down, as altcoins have been doing for the last 3 years. Let me come back to the chat over here. Bullish on Parade. Let's see. When I hear oops, I lost it. When I hear Super Cycle and Diamond Hands, I feel the top is soon. That's probably a good, yeah. I was like, I don't know. Last cycle, there would be these little things that come out, little scenes that come out, little coins that come out, and there's just like part of me is like, yeah, nah, that looks like for suckers. I mean, NFTs, how did that do? It sucked up all the money. That's what happened last time. Kind of like what meme coins did this time. The meme coins were sucking all the liquidity about altcoins early in the year. Remember, that was the bitchin' complaint. Meme coins are just ruining it for altcoins. That's what we were saying back then. And then Trump's coin came out and ruined it for meme coins. I'm like, what's a fair shake? But it was NFTs killing it last cycle. Everybody's going into chasing NFTs. And we're like, well, what about the damn coins, baby? Now it's NFTs. It's monkey pictures. Get yours. Selling for millions of dollars is crazy. But all these little things just coming and taking your eyes off of the big narrative, which ultimately should really be Bitcoin. For real, for real. Just saying. That's where the wealth is being stored and growing, is in Bitcoin, and clearly this cycle was proving it. We had that theory early on, and it's been spot on. That's actually how it played out, and it wasn't too hard to guess because this is the cycle for mass adoption. Next cycle should be for retail adoption. Yeah, next cycle would probably be the shizzle for altcoins, to be honest with you. Probably mid bear cycle this time. Probably after we top out, and then that was when the frenzy will start coming for all. Not immediately, but during the dips. I think we'll probably see a lot of buildings and uses for some of that stuff more widely adopted then. So you can get in early during the bear market. Or just hold what you got. It might not change very much. Don't know. Some of these coins. Haven says, I just entered a Pingu long 8 minutes ago. How is Pingu? Or is she getting bullish again, Pingu? I was trying a low leverage short over here, to be honest with you. Because I've seen Pingu doing a possible M top there. I would like for it. I would long it if I thought she would long, and she's definitely done really good, right? 1.2 cents all the way up there to 4. Let's see, what do we got here? So you're long and then I'm shorting, and you're on the 236. Is it trying to catch there? That's a good place to catch for an upward move, but it's just because it broke that trend line. That's my reason. My thoughts is she broke a trend line, and there's a possibility we could M top. So I look for that to happen. Sometimes it happens before the break. Sometimes the M top happens after the break, or even a. Oh, like the head and shoulder, blah, blah, blah. Those patterns or whatever happened after. It might bounce from here. That's a great place for it to bounce, high or low. I'm going to make sure I got my stop losses set. Oh yeah, 37, because I think I shorted from around 40. I shorted from around here. So hopefully that's up, minus fees and whatever. Sometimes those fees eat in on things. Well, good luck with it. I hope it. Not that I hope it stops me out, but I hope it works out. It can work out for both of us, for real, for real. Elliot, what have you got on this one? And that's what I would kind of agree with too. But the C correction might just be a little bit more down before she goes up. So if you are in a long, and if you got some She might not come down and confirm this M top. Might just, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens there. But there is a little bit of bearish sentiment going on right there, just to let you know. Doesn't mean that they're right or you're right. What's going on over here? See, we got some crossing over here. I'm on the 50-minute time frame of these moving averages, but the bigger ones are still, they haven't crossed yet. Now, on the smaller time frame, sometimes they can bend over and eventually give it up, and you know, this is like the first signs right before they do cross over, and sometimes they can just bounce right back out of this. So. Sicario says Kilroy was here. Now it's been a minute since I saw that. Wow, I'm way behind on this chat, aren't I? Bitcoin has bearish divergence on the weekly chart. What's well, if I can get, let me get something. Yeah, that one. Why does that look better? It does. I will agree, but here's how I'm looking at the bearish divergence that's forming here. Here's my rule of thumb. When we're in a parabolic move, that means when we're getting a curving structure, I look for up to 3 instances of that. The rule of 3, triple bearish divergence is what I'm looking at, what I look for. And we did have an instance of it here, and we got a pullback. We snapped out of it. Now we got another one here, and we probably will get you know, it says we might be getting a bigger correction, but it doesn't mean that it's over. I still got room for one more pump up for that bearish divergence there that I'm looking for. So do you see how we got this one's coming down, and now we got that other one? This is probably the one you're talking about too. So we got 2 instances, but we can still keep on going up and printing another bearish divergence when we're curving on here, when we got a true parabolic move going on, which I think we do. And I don't think a lot of people, I know some people, because I hear them talk about triple divergence or whatever, but I don't think a lot of people explain it or talk about it very often. Some people don't go by it at all. Bearish divergence is a good thing, but it's not an end-all be-all. If you understand that concept, that when you're in a strong move, it doesn't play out like it does in a neutral market. When you have it like in a neutral market, or especially in a bearish market, and you get bearish divergence, you better listen to it. It's probably going to have immediate results with some kind of pullback. You just got to figure out, is it going to be a correction, or is it going to be a reversal? And depending on which formation of divergence you found, if it's hidden or, you know, regular, that can help with that too. It should help with that. Normally regular would be a reversal, but when you're in a bullish market, you got to tweak those rules a little bit. And triple bearish divergence is my little rule of thumb. Works for me so far. But it is there, and we are at a top, so that could be for a little pullbacky. Still got some of these trend lines going on over here on Bitcoin, and looking at it from this perspective tells us 100 moving average coming down about 114 could be on the right could be there in the horizons. I mean, we can make all kinds of arguments, but my biggest argument, my biggest theory for Bitcoin right now is what I talked about at the beginning of the show, and that's with the 236 Fibonacci area. As long as we hold that, we got a good surprise bounce that could be happening. And it's tricky. I mean, is it going to hold it or not? I don't know. I can't tell you that. I just know if it does and it goes up and we start busting out of here making higher highs, we're all going to wish that we can go, I sold. I was stupid. Why did I sell? Stupid. It went off without us. Because we're at that point in the market for that exact thing to happen and catch people by surprise. That's just the way that this works. And this little area right here that's what I'm watching close, and so far Besides, we already had one perfect example of that back here at 103 to give us a little. We're still haven't played out what it's supposed to do from there. This is just our little pit stop on the way to that, which is like 130,000. That was the measure move right up here, 140,000 from what we had going on down here. So I look at it that way too. So we have a bullish situation and a bearish situation, depending on your perspective. And regardless of what your perspective is, the reality is we just sideways. So, ladies and gentlemen, all your YouTubers are really going to tell you is that they can hope it's going to go up, they hope it doesn't go down, but we're probably just going to keep going sideways until we see it make up its mind. It's them gosh darn altcoins that seem to be kind of wanting to play with our emotions right there. MB, right, agreed. It could be a shallow dip and strong market. Bitcoin could pop to 134 and then get, yeah, you can get a long-term correction. I would. That sounds kind of likely. I kind of like that. River, pulse chain taking off. Is it? Andrew Chua. I got some new names here. Thanks, guys, for being out here. I appreciate that. Don't know if you've been here before. We're a little bit different. I'm a little different. Sometimes I'm a turkey. Sometimes I'm a freaking zombie. Wow. I'm not really set up for this one, but hey. Turkey! Anyway, we were kind of a gothic, kind of an inspired channel when I started out. Somehow we became a turkey. I don't know. I identify as a turkey now. I woke in a nightmare. I got woke in a nightmare. Okay. Crab market. Well, guys, thank you for being here. It's your
For those
first
that
time.
have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
A little spook gets me. But he brings some wisdom there. Hit that like button if you don't mind. Subscribe to the channel. Hang out with me. Put that bell for notifications, I guess, because sometimes I throw out some random daily stuff or a video or something, especially if it's needed. I did one today because I thought it was needed. Things were getting kind of bearish sentiment out there, and I just had to put a little bit more sunshine into the tubes, if you will. All right, I see no more altcoin requests. 20 people hanging out. I appreciate you guys for being here. MB says, I'm new, just sub. I appreciate that. I code my own indicators. Oh, that's cool. See, we get cool people. That's why our channel and our little Telegram group is so cool, because we get the cool people here. Different skills, different insights, and we share. And that's what makes all this free open source stuff that we're doing here, even though it's not the most lucrative on my end. It's just the best way to get good information out there, build a good base, in my personal opinion, and get some good solid information out there. Yeah, get some good knowledge from lots of different sources there, some good alpha. We got some smart people hanging around here in this channel and in the group, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Give you guys a hand. You guys make the channel, not me. 25 people hanging out, and this turkey is there's Ryan K. How's it going? Striga says, I'm listening. I'm just tired out these things. I understand that. Meet Davian says he's lurking over here. You guys don't know, we got a couple of YouTubers hanging out here. We got Joe from Trade Intuition. Go check him out. I need to refresh that, don't I? And I keep waiting for Meet Damien to show up over here on my little subscriptions thing, but I think it's buried in there somewhere. So you just type in Meet Damien. I think one word seems to bring it up. And then you get Meet Damien's channel right there, 383 subscribers. We can probably make it go up a couple, can we? Got some new people here. You need to go check out his alpha, see what you like. I'm all for supporting your local YouTubers. You need to get a variety of information, people. You take what you... This is a smorgasbord. When it comes to TA and crypto, you need insight from people that do the fundamentals, people that do with the on-chain analysis. You need the TAs, and to get your TA education, unless you want to pay for it, there's very few places that you can go to online to get that are willing to break it down and teach you, and try to do it here and even in our $3 a month YouTube thing. All those things are available over there. Lowest amount to go with, and you take what works, you apply it and see if it works for you. And you'll see me do a lot of fib stuff because that's where my journey's led me. Moving averages, and sometimes it looks like a bunch of spaghetti over here, but I can explain how these things interact and what to expect from them in a way that you might not see from someone else because they don't use the same system that I use. But you can glean little nuggets from different people and put them together. You make your own little special sauce. You know what I'm saying? I'm showing you what my special sauce is. I ain't holding back. I ain't telling you you got to pay me. Well, except unless you want to get my OnlyFans footsie club group. It's $2,499 a month for you ballers. In case, hey, if you're watching in Dubai, here's a little. Oh, there's a little teaser. I'm not going to get booted, am I, Sean? We can do that, right? It was a covered foot, by the way. I didn't show any ankle either. Are we good? Okay. Sean says we're good. Oh my gosh, you got my feet. Don't give everything away. So yeah, for $2,499 a month, you can have access to only feet's group. Yeah, with pictures of my feet pointing at the Bitcoin target price for the day. Don't that sound yummy? You know you want it. I'm just saying. But that's all right. If you're not there, if you're not there yet, just hang out at the channel, asking questions. We'll get you there, and then when you can afford it, I expect you to come in, trade some feet pics, okay? All right. Until then, you just keep dreaming of me. Guys, I'm going to call it a day. Trade carefully. See you tomorrow. It's going to be a crazy week. Chop, chop, chop. Don't get chopped up. Wouldn't blame you if you take this week off, just to be honest with you. Chop, 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 chop. I may want to go trim some altcoin positions tonight. I'm just saying. That's what I'm thinking about doing. The total 3 here as we're talking, remembering she's breaking some levels and she's not looking very happy. And while there might be a miracle bounce here, it's leaning toward probably not. So you either believe Elliot or you believe me. I think she's going through a deeper correction. I was right last time, Elliot. You suck. He changed his mind afterwards. But Elliot thinks we might go going up, so I don't know. I honestly don't know. Nobody knows. But I'm probably going to take about 25% out of some positions here, just in anticipation, because I don't want to ride this down here out to the bottom trend line and make an M formation and continue down on some kind of weird ass correction on my altcoins. Now that I'm finally out of all the negative drawdown down there. Good night, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. See you tomorrow night. There's an end screen here somewhere, Sean. I know you'll find it. Blurry turkey. Is it that same song?
I feel so unsure.
What else we got?
As I log in tonight. The charts start to sway, red and green in my sight. I should have stayed grounded.
Yeehaw.
Working shift in my old truck, dreaming of a ride. Telegrams humming with coin toss.
I didn't see that one. I saw it earlier. I think it was around 7 cents today, right? Yeah, it's around 7 cents right now. For peak. Oh, look at you. Certainly you can't go lower, but you could. Gosh darn it. Let's see what she does at 6.37 cents, right in that area. 6.3. Got the microphone on, right? Sean? Looks like we might be able to come back down here. And we could bounce again from here. Just might be double tapping it. Poor Peak. Gosh, she can't go. I mean, she's so close to zero. 6 cents away from zero. She can't go down forever. They were shilling this like crazy when it was 31 cents. I'm pissed at them.
Dreams inside. Money can't buy everything, but it can buy me a bit. Stack that crypto, watch it grow. Snag a yacht, no sweat. Ain't no big house yet, but I'm chasing that trader's dream. Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy me a bit. Why you trust in every hype? That's a rookie slip. Check the team, don't sell too soon. Hold through markets dip. Budget wise, watch price line sway. Keep your cash.
You needed to go back to 60. Oh man,
Crypto's calling, roll with
it was up there, wasn't it?
Vets around
Nice little
the
M top. Should be a.
check
Oh,
plans and teams. Dodge the scams with
what you got going on here? So you got the 272. Oh,
nervous dips, trade with steady breeze.
oh gosh, man, I hope that.
Every drop's a chance to
Hope that doesn't do
grab. I'm
that.
stacking with a grin.
There is a 2-cent target. I hope we don't ever hit it.
Vet and wife, I'll win.
Let's not even talk about that right now. I'm just looking at this M pattern right here where it topped out.
Stack that
I'm in this too.
watch it grow. Snag a yacht, no sweat.
And I think I added some to my. I think I've been it's like 17.9. Just, but it's been a disappointment since it's ran up.
But it can buy me a vet.
I think with that. Weird thing is these new coins come out and they've got so much high behind them. They get up and make them high, and then when they give it up, you spend a lot of the rest of the cycle waiting just to get back up to those previous highs, even if it wasn't, not. You spend months waiting for them to get back up to where they were before. That one dropped a lot. 90% drop, right?
Yeah, crypto swag. I'm a block hustler, race where the hustle sings. Crypto's my
I would like to
leverage,
see it come back at
stacking all
15
my
cents.
dreams. Meme coins tempt me, scams in the glow. Buy my hype, they tease, try to steal my show. Lost a bag one night,
All right, everybody, good night. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you again tomorrow night.
Tracks crashed out of sight, left me wanting more. Flipped a set to shine, oil through the fray. Bull runs my design, moon bags my play. Yeah. When the tips run deep and the scammers creep, ooh, ooh, I've got my stash, my moon bags.
They need to.
Yeah, yeah. When the bears
There's a
hit
pin for
high,
that.
moon's gonna light, ooh, ooh.